And we're back with another video, doing a rebranding of the channel. So we're going to change to an older one that me and my friends had a couple of years ago, but we all just didn't get up to making any videos or anything. But that's irrelevant, we're back. I've got a DC2 Type R now, which is pretty sweet. I've got to do the timing on it, so I'm going to make a little bit of a video on it today. That timing belt is terrible. But just quick rundown of the car. It's a 1997 DC2 Type R with the Japanese front end. B18C VTEC. Really fun, really like crazy reliable car. I haven't had any issues with it and I've done like 10,000 kilometers in it already. Has the HIDs, fog lights and high beams all in like one whole thing. Imported from Japan, everything like that. I got it for a really good price. Has everything like the Recaro's Type R front and rear strut bars, and I think it's got like a chassis brace or something as well in it. But yeah, let's get stuck into doing the timing on this. The video on this was sort of an afterthought, so I already took all that off, and then I thought about it. I was like, oh, make a new video. But anywho, what you want to do first off is you want to get your engine at top dead center. So make sure both of these are pointing up, and there's two little marks on the cam gears in there as well. I haven't got it lined up quite right there. They've got to line up with that mark in behind the cam gears there, and then same with the mark down on the crankshaft. So there'll be three little marks all together, but the top dead center mark is the one that's a little bit over, and then you line it. I might get a light and try put it in there, but there's a mark on the actual case that you line the crank up with. I'll just try to line these up properly. See, those lines are marked together, and then back through there's also a mark that they line up with. So with the crank lined up and the cams lined up, there is a little tool you can put in there, but make sure you just double or triple check it if you don't have the special tool to make sure it's right. Just double check it, and then when you do it all again, check it again, and then always wind over the motor 2 times. Just make sure all your lines mark up, and you should be pretty alright. I've got to take this off, all the belts off as well, prop up the motor while taking this engine mount out, and then take the harmonic balancer and everything else off as well. When you're taking off your harmonic balancer, make sure to use a rattle gun or something like that, and then don't lose this dowel pin up here, like I just dropped, because that will go in there, and if you put it back on with that dowel pin in there, you're going to be in a world of trouble. But harmonic balancers are off, all my belts are off. I've got to take this case off, and then I'll be able to get into the tensioner and everything else. So I got all the harmonic balancer off, all the casings and everything off. I'm taking the tensioner off. I'm also doing my water pump as well, so there's a bunch of bolts there as well that I've got to take off. I haven't dropped my coolant yet. I'm just going to let it go to the ground. But yeah, there should just be some bolts up there that need taking out. I'm going to do my cam seals as well, but they're going to be a little bit tricky to do. My crank seal looks okay, so I don't want to mess anything up, so I'll just leave it the way it is. And then I'm going to do my cam seals up there and water pump as well. So I've got the old water pump off. I'm just letting all the stuff drain out of it, so everything will be dry when I put it all back together. New water pump here with a new gasket as well, but I'm just working on doing the cam seals as well. So to stop your cam from spinning, you just put a 6mm drill bit or punch or something fairly strong, because you're going to be using that to get it off, so there's quite a bit of torque. But you do both holes just to stop it from spinning, so if anything does let go, it won't spin, bend your valves. And then you just do your 14mm on there, undo it. Just when you're taking the cam gear off, there's also the same thing as the harmonic balancer, is that little dowel pin. You've got to make sure you hold onto it. I do find it quite helpful to mark in and exhaust for intake and exhaust cams. This one off, take the seals out, and then take this cover off, and then do the seals one way. Either way, whichever way it works. With new water pump on, new gasket, and a tiny little bit of sealant just around important areas, and then both cam seals done. I'm ready to put the cams back on, tensioner, belt, covers, done. The new belt on, haven't tensioned it yet. I thought I'd just show you how to tension it. So that's how much slack I've got at the top there. Marks are lined up in exhaust, same thing. New water pump's done. Now the easiest way to tension this is put a ratchet on your harmonic balancer bolt and find it. And now remember, Hondas go backwards, so we want to try and move these two 3 teeth. So I got my crank lined up, so that's the top dead center arrow and mark, so you just got to make sure they're lined up. And then up here you got these 2 marks, and then the mark at the back. If you just follow that through, you can see they line up. Now what I was saying, to get this tension, is you just wind the motor over 3 teeth. There you go. 1, 2, that's 3 teeth there. So now this is nice and tight. This is tight, and then the slack's over here on the tensioner side. And that is how you set the tension on a B18. I got super carried away and just ended up putting it all back together. Just rinse and repeat. So what you do once you set your timing is you wind the motor over twice, make sure all your lines line up, and then do the same thing, mark it, wind it over again, wind it over twice, and then it should line up again. So top dead center in your 2 cam marks. I've just gone through and put it all back together. Like I said, I got super carried away. So now I've just got to wait for the silicone to set, top up the water, and then start it.